Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for tuning in into another video. In today's video I wanted to show you guys how I create a brown smoky eye. So to begin with, I started by moisturizing my face with the Hello Hydration Face Cream by e.l.f. I really love that moisturizer. And to follow, I'd use the Nyx Bare With Me Prime Set Refresh Spray. And I did use for my eyebrows a combination of the e.l.f. Brow Gel in the color Espresso, as well as the Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil in the color dark brown. And to set my brows, I use the, let's see here, the Profusion Good Brow Day tinted brow gel, and that's in the color dark brown. So I like to brush my natural brows first, all towards one side, and then I went in and outlined my eyebrows with the pencil first. And once I got the shape that I wanted, I filled in with the brow gel. And that's what I'm doing there. I kind of do already have fluffy brows, so I don't do too much to them. And then to follow, I did prime using the CoverFX blurring primer. I really like this primer because it fills in my pores really nicely. And for foundation, I did use a combination of the Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation, and that was in the color Tawny, with the NYX Born to Glow in the color Neutral Tan. I like the combination of both because one is matte, the Believe Beauty is matte, and then the NYX is kind of a semi-matte, it's not too dewy, and mixing both, I like the finish that I get. And this foundation combo, it does last all day. I noticed that I barely have to retouch because it's neither too matte or too dewy, it's like right on the middle, and so I love it. And I used one of the Morphe brushes to blend this out. I like to use this brush to make sure that I push the foundation into my skin, and then you'll see me going in with the e.l.f. sponge to blend it out. That way I have a more seamless look. And don't mind me, I was dancing, you know how I do. I love to listen to music while I get ready. I feel like it just sets me in the right mood. It also makes me a little bit more creative. Okay, so to follow, I covered my dark under circles with the NYX Dark Circle Concealer or Corrector in the color Medium. You guys see me using this all the time. I love this corrector. It's like a nice peachy color. And it corrects or counter corrects all of my bags and discoloring underneath my eyes. So I really like that product. And then to follow with, I did use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the color Light Beige. It's about 1 to 2 shades lighter than my skin tone, and I do like using that for a more highlighted look. Personally, that's what I like. I like having my under eyes be a bit lighter than the rest of my face. I feel like it's more flattering rather than having a whole, like your face be all one color. But you know, you do what you do. Makeup is very personable. You do what works for you. I'm just kind of sharing the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. I have been doing or learning makeup for the past, I'd say 8 years. It just takes practice. I obviously didn't start knowing all of this. I kind of watched a lot of YouTube. And then to set my under eye, I did use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Banana Powder. I really like that powder because it has a yellow tint, and I feel like it goes well with my skin tone. And again, it helps give me a more highlighted look. And if you saw, the smell of that powder is so good. It smells like fruit punch or something. I don't know, it smells so good. And yeah, so I'm pressing the powder into my skin, into my under eye area, my T-zone. I feel like this also helps with controlling my oils throughout the day. So yeah, I really like that powder. I do like baking with it and using it with a sponge. I feel like it gives me a better overall result. And then to set my whole face, I did use the Aqua Surance Compact Foundation in the color medium beige, and this is by J.Cat Beauty. I really like that powder because it gives me a bit more coverage. It adds a bit more coverage to the rest of my face. And then I'm just whisking off the rest of that under eye powder so that it stays nice and smooth. Again, I use that powder to set my under eye and my T-zone. And then I did use the Alamar Cosmetics Brighten and Bronze Complexion Trio in the color medium tan, and from there I used the I'm Woke brightening shade. I like using that shade again to brighten underneath my eyes, and I did bring it a little bit down the middle of my nose and on my chin. And then I do like to run my fingers underneath my eyes just to make sure that I get rid of any creases or anything. And then from there I'm gonna follow to do my eyeshadow. I am using it's a limited palette from Colourpop with Disney in the Mulan. And to start off, I did use the shade Strength in my crease as a transition shade. So I am blending that into my crease. I like to blend outwards and then kind of create a cat eye shape, just because that's kind of like the shape that I like for my eyes. My eyes are not normally that, extended out, so I like to give the illusion that they're more cat-ish than they really are. And then I did use the color Guiding Spirit a little bit below that transition shade, just to add a little bit more darkness, a bit more smokiness in there. And I'll leave the brushes that I'm using down below, but it's a mix of some Morphe brushes and the Jeffree Star times Morphe collab. I really love those brushes, and they're aesthetically so beautiful. So I'm blending that shade, the Guiding Spirit shade, into a little bit below my crease to add a bit more smokiness. And usually when I do a brown smoky eye, I like to begin with lighter colors and darken it as I go. I don't just start with a dark color, because it's easier to blend out lighter colors than it is to blend out, a really dark color when you begin with. And then I did use the color Legacy as my all over shade for my lid. I like the color Legacy because it has a little bit of sparkles, although I don't think the camera is picking it up, but it has a bit of sparkles. It's not like a complete matte shade. And then I'm just going back and forth with the Guiding Spirit shade just to blend out a little bit of that Legacy shade, so it looks seamless. I don't like seeing any harsh lines. And then I did fade away some of that fallout. And then to bronze, I did use the Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in the color Cappuccino. And then for my nose contour, I did use the Morphe bronzer in Debutante. I like this bronzer better for my nose rather than my face because it's a bit lighter. And then again, I'm going in with the brightening shade in the Alamar Cosmetics Trio to highlight the mid of my nose. And for blush, I did use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio, and I used a combo of the Nectarine and Ginger blushes in there. It's a trio, so I used 2 of those together. And then I'm using the Fenty Beauty again Pro Filter Banana Powder to clean my contour. And then I'm just blending that away. Gives me a more seamless appearance to the rest of my face. And then I did use the L'Oreal eyeliner. It's one of those chubby liners to line my under eye. And then I did use a mix of the Strength and Guiding Spirit for my underneath my lashes. And then I am using again the Strength shade to blend that out, to add a more smoky effect. That's kind of what I was going for that day. And then I did use the shade Strike a Match, and I did wet it a little bit to highlight the inner corner of my eyes. That color is so beautiful. It's like a nice golden, like a gold color. And please don't mind the faces that I make while I'm doing my makeup, guys. Don't judge me. And then I am using that color Fighter to highlight my brow bone. I didn't feel like using a shimmery color, and so I went with a matte kind of cream shade. Then I am giving another blend. You see me back and forth blending because I don't like seeing any harsh lines. And then I did use my Tarte eyelash color to curl my lashes. This is a step that I cannot skip. I used to skip this step a long time ago, but I noticed that this makes a huge difference. And then I did use my L'Oreal Lash Paradise in the color Blackest Black for my mascara for my top and lower lashes. And if you've noticed, guys, on my tutorials, like, I don't really use lashes. I'm really not good at putting on lashes. I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that I wear contacts and they irritate me more, or maybe just the fact that I don't have enough practice with them, or just a combination of both. But I mean, I wasn't going anywhere, you know. I'm in Miami and I'm staying home, avoiding being around people right now, so it's fine. I mean, if I have like an event or something, I will wear lashes, but they will bother the heck out of me. Just keeping it real. And then I did mess up a little bit with the mascara, like it budged a little bit underneath my eye. And then you'll see when that happens, you do want to wait until the mascara dries to kind of use a Q-tip to flake it off, because if you do it while it's wet, you'll mess up your whole underneath area. And then I am just blending again my face. I don't like seeing any harsh lines from the blush to the bronzer or the brightening shade. And then for highlight, I did use the Becca X Jaclyn Hill Trio in the color Champagne Pop as my nose highlight, my Cupid's bow highlight. It's a beautiful color. I love this highlight. I don't use it enough. I don't use enough highlight on my everyday life because I do have textured skin, and I feel like sometimes it can emphasize that. And then to set my face, again, I went in with the NYX Bare With Me setting spray. I am using the Tarte beauty sponge to kind of blend everything and mesh everything together. And then I used the red lipstick and lip liner that is on my previous